Okay. Welcome to today's session. I'm actually looking forward to when I was preparing. It's a really nice topic that we're going into today. Again, as before, I would like to ask you, myself as well, that we just make our motivation, first of all, silently. Okay. Now I will share the screen. And okay. And for a motivation that we do together, I would choose again these two verses. Mercy alone. Come on, that was not the point. Something's not okay here. That is not as it should be. I cannot see the text because this is too high. This has to go down. Okay, now it's possible. Okay. Mercy alone is seen as the seed of a conquered rich harvest, as water for development, and as ripening in a state of long enjoyment. Therefore, at the start, I praise compassion. And then the second one from the one-room prayer, samsara, nirvana, lack even an atom of true existence, while cause and effect and dependent arising are unfailing. I seek your blessings to discern the import of Nagarjuna thought, which is that these two are complementary and not contradictory. Okay, now last time we were looking at some overview, some summary, and specifically about the chapters of the supplement to the Middle Way by Chandrakirti. And today we go on, you can see here on the left side on top, now to the first main chapter, that is the meaning of the title. So the title, what is it referring to? You can see in the middle again is the topic of the mind map here, meaning of the title, and here below from the supplement to the Middle Way by Chandrakirti. And the title is Madyamaka Avatara. And here first I take the part of this word of Madyamaka. And Madyamaka literally means a treatise of tenets of the Middle Way. And in this context, it is referring to Nagarjuna's treatise on the Middle Way, the Fundamental Wisdom, or Madyamaka Shastra. It is the root wisdom of Nagarjuna. And in this root wisdom, Nagarjuna is explicitly refuting the Vaibhashika and Sautantrika school. But only Chandrakirti then in the supplement to the Middle Way is explicitly refuting the other two schools, the Chittamatra and the Svatantrika Madhyamaka. And this is the main meaning of Uma, of Madyamaka. Uma is like the term for Tibetan, in Tibetan. And the main meaning is it is very extensive on the profound, but it is not extensive on the vast. And we just hear later on what this is meaning. Okay? Now, Madyamaka, I stay with this term, and in Tibetan Uma. Again, on the left side, you can see the term I'm talking about. Then Uma means emptiness. Here on top, you can see emptiness, or also middle way, or refers to emptiness. And there are 4 distinctions in this context. There is this basis middle way, referring to emptiness. The path middle way is referring to the wisdom realizing emptiness. And the result middle way is referring to Dharmakaya, and the textual refers, for example, to texts like Madyamakavatara and so on. And the basis emptiness you can see on top is synonymous to the natural perfection of wisdom. Then I go back here to the left side, middle way. I make a line here. The meaning of middle way is here the middle of 2 extremes. And what are these 2 extremes? I know you know best, you know that as well, very well. Is the one side is the annihilation. That means that phenomena don't exist at all, not even as a term. And the other side is the other extreme is permanence, or that the inherent existence of phenomena. And both are not the middle, but the middle is, you can see here on the right, is scale, here the middle. Phenomena are existing, dependent, arising as a mere forward imputation by thought. And to all of this, we will come again and again in the text. Okay, now we come to the second part of the title, that is Avatara. And you can see here on the left side is the Avatara, and in a green circle, and here it's literally meaning supplement or engaging. There are 2 ways the text of Chandrakirti is a supplement. It's from the viewpoint of the vast, down here in the green color, and to the right, the viewpoint of the profound. I first will mention the viewpoint of the vast. It refers, the fundamental wisdom doesn't have the vast teachings of the Mahayana. And Chandrakirti explains all the Mahayana paths of the vastness by relying on other texts. For example, on Nagarjuna's Ratnavali or the Compendium of Sutras. So with these texts, he is supplementing. And now we are in the blue color now here, and I take this line going to down, again in blue color. There are 2 reasons for supplementing the vast. Because A, cultivating the root wisdom, the profound, needs to be in union with the vast. And that's what we heard many times. Method and wisdom, they always belong together. Compassion and wisdom. And then B, because the stages of the vast are not presented in the root wisdom by Nagarjuna. And out of this reason, now you see the orange 1 and to 4. And I go back here. For this purpose, in the middle here, Chandrakirti sets forth 4 points. First of all, here on the left, in orange color, 3 practices on the level of a common being or ordinary being, like great compassion, the awareness, realizing duality, and mind generation bodhicitta. Then second, he presents the 10 grounds of a learner superior, an Arya learner, refers to the 10 bhumis. Third, he presents the resultant ground, the Buddhahood, And fourth, it's a cultivating of special insight through the steps of the fifth and the sixth ground, because this has a special importance in the text. It's mainly the sixth ground. So to these stages, Chandrakirti makes the supplement of the fast. Now I go back on top here to the green. How is Chandrakirti supplementing from the viewpoint of the profound? And Chandrakirti wrote the supplement in order to indicate in an unmistaken way the meaning of suchness as was set out by Nagarjuna. And as we heard before, in this text, Chandrakirti refutes mainly the Chittamatra and Sautrantika schools of thought in an extensive way. Why? Because the Chittamatra and Sautrantika schools of thought cannot be delineated from the middle way. They have a wrong or not correct understanding. And again, how is Chandrakirti doing it? I go to this to the far right here in brown color, specifically here in the sixth chapter, and by way of the 8 uncommon tenets of Prasangika that we mentioned already last time. Independent arising, independent designation. And because of this, what Chandrakirti presented in his text, he became the trailblazers of the Prasangika school. And then, again, one you can see from top here, where the viewpoint of profound, there's a line going all the way down, and it is connected to this. The supplement is a text of the Mahayana. Why? Because the profound path is written by putting limitless reason. So, to summarize, on the bottom here to the right, there are 2 purposes to compose the supplement. It's referring from the viewpoint of the vast and from the profound. Okay, so far it is. Now we go one step further. Second point of the second chapter of this is the obeisance of the translator, and that is just a really brief one. As you know, or for sure remember, all Buddha's teaching are contained in the 3 baskets, and there are the Abhidharma, the Sutra, and the Vinaya basket. And a translator or an author is paying homage, always in which content the text is written. And in our text, it is a higher training of wisdom and is ultimate knowledge. And therefore, as you can see here, Chandrakirti pays homage to Manjushri because it refers to the Abhidharma knowledge basket. And just to remember the 2 other ones in the Sutra basket, the homage is made to Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, and in the Vinaya, it is made to omniscience. So we have the homage to Manjushri. Now already the 3rd chapter counts, the meaning of the text. And this is the one that it will be very, very vast. And we can see how. There is A, here in the black, the expression of worship. And here, Chandrakirti presents first, here in the yellow, the praise of great compassion without differentiation differentiating its types. And second, homage to that compassion within differentiating its types. So these two. And when we go to the first part, praise of compassion without differentiating its types, there are again 2 points. A, compassion as the main cause of a bodhisattva. And second, compassion, or B, as the root of the other 2 causes of a bodhisattva. And we will then just go to this on the next mind map. The compassion as the main cause has first the way hearer and solitary risers are born from the king of subduers. Second, the way Buddhas are born from bodhisattvas. And third, the 3 main causes of bodhisattvas. Then second, homage to that compassion within differentiating its types. And here are 2. A, homage to compassion observing sentient beings, and B, homage to compassion observing phenomena and the unapprehendable. Okay, so now you can see in the middle of this mind map, and I make it a little bit bigger, I found out that this is possible. We have here again from the overview the meaning of the text, and as I mentioned before, the expression of worship, that is a means of beginning to compose the text. So I go here to the worship with the blue line. Usually the worship is done to hearers, solitary risers, Buddhas or bodhisattvas. But in our text, Chandrakirti here on the left side doesn't honor these, but he honors the cause that is the root of them. Here you can see the actual expression of worship in our text. The text now that is Lama Tsongkhapa writing is here the 2 lines that I'd like to read. Hearers and solitary risers of suchness are born from the king of subduers. Buddhas are born from bodhisattvas. And we will just go through this and hear how this is meant and how this is happening. So the first sub-chapter here, as we heard just before on the last mind map, is praise of great compassion without differentiating its types. And on the left, we can see here, great compassion is the start of the Mahayana. Great compassion, in the red lines here now, is the cause. It's protecting, the cause is protecting all sentient beings from prison of samsara. And is the most, and this is the most excellent cause for Buddhahood. Not just for oneself to get out of the prison from samsara, but protecting all sentient beings from. Then there is the result that is mentioned, the word Bhagavati. And Bhagavati is the name for Buddhahood and the first cause, compassion. Bhagavati, that is a Sanskrit term. So it is made of Buddhahood and the first cause of it, compassion. Then, here in the text, explicitly the cause, great compassion, is worshipped, and implicitly also the result. Result meaning here high rebirth, hearers, solitary risers, bodhisattvas, Buddhas, bodhicitta, wisdom, and so on. And because all the realization of all 3 vehicles up to enlightenment are all rooted in compassion. So I know I like this very much. I already when we studied it, just this basis and these reasonings why. I think it's really wonderful, and that compassion, something really that we know in our life and is important also in our very ordinary life, is such an incredible cause for all this that can happen out of it when we practice. Okay, now I go A, compassion as the main cause of a Buddha. So how is this? And here in the middle we have again, hearers and solitary risers are born from the king of subduers. Above this, you can see Buddhas teach, for example, the 12 links, and the hearers and solitary realizers listen, reflect, and meditate on Buddha's teachings and attain the hearers or solitary risers arhatship. Hearers, as I just mentioned, listen to Buddha's teachings and on the modes of dependent arising and make others to listen. That's why hearers are the listeners, but they don't do more than that. And then below you can see also bodhisattvas listen, reflect, meditate with method and wisdom and make others listen and want to practice it. So here they make more than just listening by themselves. Up here there is some side mark. King of subduers refers to Buddha that has taught dependent arising. And also it refers to that Buddha has subdued all the afflictive and knowledge obscuration. And here this listening, reflecting, meditating refers to the 3 different kinds of wisdom that are generated. Okay. Now there's one more thing. Here also connected is tattva. I think Chandrakirti mentioned this in his text, tattva Buddha. And this means realization of suchness. You can see here on the right. And here again, some distinction between the 3 vehicles. The hearers, they have a small realization of suchness or smaller. They cultivate method and wisdom for a rather short time. Solitary arisers, they have a middle realization of suchness, and they cultivate method and wisdom for 100 eons. And the bodhisattvas have a great realization of suchness, so they are superior. They cultivate method and wisdom together, the 2 collections, compassion for all sentient beings, all times, omniscience. They have a fully qualified method and wisdom. And in addition to the solitary risers, here they practice for or cultivate method and wisdom for 100 eons. They have an increased method and wisdom, and they are the ones that are self-arisen in their last life. So they want to attain Buddhahood in their last life without any help. Okay.
Claudia.
Yes, please.
About the small, middle, and great realization of suchness, of emptiness.
Yeah.
Can you say a little bit more about that? What is for you? What is the difference with that then exactly?
I think it is. Also, I will just have to think what I mean. I don't know. I have to look it up. But I think what I think is a small realization of suchness, that because they don't study and reflect on emptiness, means limitless reasonings. They also have less on the method side. With they miss the compassion, and they have it's just the whole result, that comes together when you have less ingredients. I don't know, maybe it's very stupid.
It doesn't depend on the view?
Also, but it's just when there's less coming together, when you make a soup, then it's just a soup with the outcome of the soup. When you cook it, is just smaller than when you have many more reasonings and reflection, and your attitude of compassion and bodhicitta. All this is helping very much to make the whole result much, much bigger. That's what I understand. What do you think?
No, in this context, it's about the here is small realization.
Yeah.
I think it's really about the view of emptiness.
This only part, look, when you see what I wrote here on the mind, maybe it's, for example, here, cultivate method and wisdom. So they also, not only the view, it's not only wisdom, it's also method. They also have the four immeasurable thoughts, loving kindness. They have all this as well. But it's just a shorter time, and I think also less, but also not so many reasons. And yeah, does it make sense when I say that?
Yeah, when you put method in it, definitely. What is more about with this view? I was meaning more referring to the selflessness of person or selflessness of phenomena with this regard.
Okay. But I think, but I leave it for the moment. For the moment, we will so much repetition, also like looking from different angles at same points. We will definitely come back to this.
Okay.
That's fine with you? Okay. Thank you for sharing. That is, I appreciate that a lot when we have some discussion. Will come more, I know. Okay, so now I have to go. Come back. Okay. Now I lost it completely. Now here. And next one here. Now, I like this one a lot as well, this topic. Again, in the middle, you can see here on the top, the second point of the 3 points, the way Buddhas are born from bodhisattvas. And here, I just mentioned this, what I wrote up here, that also sometimes bodhisattvas are called actually Buddha's children. And what does it mean? It refers to when a Buddha is newly born from the speech or the teaching of a Buddha. Or did I? No, I said it wrong. When a bodhisattva is newly born from the speech or teaching of a Buddha, then he or she is called a Buddha's child. Good. But now we want to know the way Buddhas are born from bodhisattvas. There are 2 reasons here on the left. The first reason is in connection of the same continuum. How is this happening? It refers to the state and practices of a bodhisattva, and they are the substantial cause for then the state of a Buddha. So it's like that, a bodhisattva in his continuum practicing, and this is the substantial cause for a Buddha in the same continuum. Then the second reason is in a different continuum, and this refers to that other bodhisattvas or Buddhas teaching the bodhisattvas on the learner's path and make them to hold mind generation, all these realizations. And these other bodhisattvas, other continuums, are the cooperative cause for then a Buddha, for the bodhisattva that is becoming a Buddha. Here we see also a scriptural reason. There are different sutras, like the Pile of Jewels Sutra or the Medicinal Tree Sutra, that have or a reason that has the reasons as well. Okay, now on the right side here, you can see in the middle, again in brown color, the bodhisattvas are praised by the Buddhas. And it's because, why? Because bodhisattvas, as we heard, are the main cause of Buddhas. So there are 4 reasons in this context. Here, the first one, because bodhisattvas are an excellent cause of a Buddha, profound and precious. And the example here is mentioned that just as a child is born, it has to be very, very carefully protected and supported. In the same way, they are bodhisattvas, they are just an excellent cause. Then the second one, here it's explicitly the bodhisattvas are praised because they are the cause of Buddha, but implicitly they are the result. And implicitly, Buddhas are also praised. So by praising bodhisattvas, also Buddhas are praised. Then the third reason is an analogy. And here's that's why here I was actually drawing a tree in the back here. Just as a young sprout of a medicinal tree has to be very protected so that it really may grow and become a big medicinal tree that can help many people. In the same way, bodhisattvas have and should be protected and supported to become Buddhas. Then the fourth reason, Buddhas are praised in presence of the 3 lineage bearers. Why? For them to be a role model so that the other people who are not definite in the Mahayana lineage may be inspired to also practice the Mahayana. Okay, and again, here below the tree, there is an arrow, there is the root of all this, and again we come to great compassion here in the middle. And so there's another connection. Great compassion, we come to the third point here, the 3 main causes of a bodhisattva. And the very main cause, as you heard now already a few times, here on the left, A, here is great compassion. And why is it? Because it is the initial cause of a bodhisattva, and it's also the cause of the 2 other causes that we just come here, B and C. The great compassion, the wish to protect all sentient beings from suffering. Okay, that's why this is the main cause. And then B, here in the middle, we have, it needs also the wisdom realizing non-duality with limitless reasoning. And here the wisdom realizing non-duality is Sherop in Tibetan, and not the exalted wisdom that is Yeshe in Tibetan. So a distinction here of the wisdom. The wisdom realizing emptiness by way of limitless enumeration of reasoning. Okay, and then third, we have here C, the mind of enlightenment, mind generation. Here it is the contrived mind generation and not the Mahayana mind generation that is then uncontrived. And to just remember the definition of mind of enlightenment or the mind generation, it is the wish to attain highest enlightenment, which is the object of attainment, the 3 kayas, for the sake of all sentient beings, all limitless sentient beings, and this is the object of intent. So bodhicitta is always mind generation is always this twofold. Okay, now here there's another presentation how this is all connected, and I think it when I went through it, it showed me again how all these topics, all these thoughts and reasons are so much interconnected. And again, that's something that touches me so much. I think this is just unbelievable. So I like it so much. Anyway, here on the bottom you can see there is a cause and effect relationship. Again, we're on the topic of great compassion. Out of great compassion comes the mind generation for all limitless sentient beings. Out of this comes the correct view. Can actually be also, you can see this arrow, just the opposite way, that first comes the correct view and then mind generation. But these three then are the cause of a bodhisattva, which is the cause of a Buddha, which is the cause of the hearers and solitarizers, Buddhas, which then are teaching, and they are teaching great compassion, and so on, mind generation, correct view, and this then goes on and on in a circle, like cause and effect relationship. It's all interdependent and connected to each other. Okay, so that's how much I prepared for today. And yeah, I think it's fine. I have no idea how long it is, but I would like to stop for now. It's only if maybe, David, you have one comment or a question still to do.
I'm thinking. Now just think about great compassion and compassion.
Yeah.
Because the bodhisattvas have of the Pali tradition or Hinayana,
Yeah.
the hearers, they have great compassion.
Yeah.
And the bodhisattvas also have great compassion.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, right. Oh, definitely.
Yeah, that's how I was a little bit thinking about that.
Yeah. And want you say more?
No, that only what the bodhicitta aspect for the bodhisattvas, which makes the greater, the compassion greater for them, because it's for more beings, bringing them to enlightenment.
Exactly. Exactly.
So I was just thinking about that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. That's very good. It's much vaster in the mind of in a continuum of a bodhisattva. Yeah.
Oh, that's it.
Okay, good. By the way, does it work now with the mind maps? Is it possible to follow? I mean, you don't have to read everything, but can you follow it? Must it make sense?
Yeah, especially the drawings.
Yeah, I know. That's also the thing that is actually that we should do drawings, because this helps to remember. Yeah, it gives a structure. Yeah. Okay, good. Thank you. So I think now the next is again the dedication, and as last time I will read through it and we just think about it to dedicate all the merit by doing this, teaching this, studying together, going through the text and the mind maps, that it will be beneficial for all sentient beings, for us, but also for all sentient beings. Okay. And now always when I change it, come. No, not this way. This way. Okay. May the precious body-mind, not yet born, arise and grow. May that born have no decline, but increase forevermore. In the land encircled by snow mountain, you are the source of all happiness and good, all-powerful Chandrakirti tending Gyatso. Please remain until samsara ends. As long as space remains, and as long as sentient beings remain, may I too remain to dispel the miseries of the world.